Hi, everyone. I'm Diane Brady. I am here with noted pollster and political consultant Frank Luntz. Frank, good to see you.
Nice to see you. Nice to be seen.
Yeah, well, I always think of you as the expert on rhetoric, language. I mean, let's talk about what we're seeing on the campaign trail right now. And most notably today, we've gotten hold of the Trump tapes that were mentioned, of course, in the case against him by the DOJ. What do you make of that? I'm just curious to get your take on it.
So my first take is probably going to surprise you, which is that this is a test for me. Years ago, Donald Trump said that he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and 57th Street, and it would have no impact on his support.
Yeah.
He has taken different points of view that have been proven to be either misinformation or disinformation, and the public does seem to, at least his public, does not hold him accountable. So for me, you've actually got the tape. You've got his own language acknowledging that he knows he cannot declassify this. And what's amazing to me is that in this initial 24-hour period, once again, Donald Trump is being given a pass by his own people. That even if you see it visually, even if you hear it verbally, the tapes were not doctored, they were not made up, and he seems to be, the best language is getting a pass.
Yeah.
So I'm fascinated with that as a political scientist. I'm horrified about that as someone who's been a strong advocate for the truth. But you know what? It is what it is, and it's teaching us just how intense and red hot his own supporters are, and how difficult it's going to be either for the Republicans to deny him the nomination, and how potent he's going to be in the general election.
Well, let's pause on that a second, because I know that you don't have a specific party affiliation anymore, but you have a deep knowledge of the Republicans. Why is he proving to be so Teflon? Because it is remarkable that nothing seems to really impact his support in the polls.
It is a very simple answer. He has mastered the rhetoric of victimization, and he's taken it to a new level where it's now about persecution. And so his supporters may not be happy with him. They may not agree with him. They may not necessarily trust him or even want him to be the nominee, except that they dislike, and probably the better word is hate, his enemies even more. And so they're rallying around him, they're protecting him, they're refusing to listen to the accusations because the public, the Trump public, does not believe the accusers. And that's why you can even hear his voice and still say, I don't care, because you dislike the people who recorded him even more.
So, Frank, you are, when you look at the language around how we talk about Donald Trump, how his supporters talk about Donald Trump, are we even on the same playing field?
No, and the reason why is partially intent and partially a misunderstanding. Intent because people who dislike Trump really hate him, and they don't want to listen or learn from either what he says or what his people say. And you won't understand how to connect with someone or influence them, or in this case, defeat him, if you don't understand the emotions and the intentions and the words that people use to describe him. So there's that misunderstanding, but there's also a feeling among Trump voters that they're not going to get the truth from the mainstream media, that the reporters and the shows, either on radio or television or on the web, that they're out there to get him, and so they will protect him, and that's why they forgive him if he makes a mistake. That's why they give him the benefit of the doubt. He gets his home invaded by the Justice Department, his numbers go up. He gets indicted in New York, his numbers go up. He gets indicted in Miami by federal officials, his numbers go up. He's found guilty of sexual assault, his numbers go up. And it just creates such an anger among those against him that they actually become counterproductive and they make his road to the nomination that much easier.